Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Firefly Tarot, and welcome to our very special Pick a Card where I have 5 groups instead of 4 because I wanted to get the most unique messages that I could. So our topic for today is, what are your unique gifts, abilities, powers? Gifts also includes talents, and this is looking into psychic and non-psychic or non-spiritual gifts of any kind. So we're going to do one at a time for this reading. And I also added, and how are they activated? So the reason I added this was because some of us have abilities, but we can't quite get into it until we're in a particular situation or something triggers it or channels it or something. My one, I think, easiest example is when I'm reading the tarot cards, it's activated or channeled through my throat chakra primarily. Because I will have no idea what I'm looking at, but as I start talking, all of a sudden the answers and messages will come to me, and I will just be able to kind of blurt them out. One other example I think all of us probably share, if you identify as an empath or a light worker or a similar kind of being, is that when another person is in pain or suffering or struggling, we kind of have that natural ability to help to heal them, you know, to give some light towards them. So for me, I know that's very true. Like if I see someone that's going through some kind of pain, you know, something within me stirs up naturally where I want to help to heal them and, you know, just kind of give them that energy. It's not something I think about, it's something that is just triggered. So that's 2 examples that I can think of how are your abilities activated. So we are going to look at the 5 groups. I'll show you each one. I usually do 4 groups, and the reason the 5th one is here is to narrow down the messages, make them as unique as I could. So the options are going to be in the timestamps and in the description. As always, this is a general reading. If you want a personal one, info is in the description as well. There should be some slots open for September. I will open more if I have the time, but for now there's kind of like a limited space. So go with your intuition, as always. Take a breath, and whichever one resonates with you the most, you can take as much time as you need. So here is group number 1. This is the clear quartz group. For what are your unique gifts, abilities, and powers. This is group number 2, the butterfly sticker. This is group number 3, the sand timer, mini hourglass. This is group number 4, the wooden heart or the cutout heart, group number 4. And this is group number 5, the book charm. Okay. So again, just take as much time as you need. And whenever you are ready, I will see you at your reading. Hey everyone, this is the reading for those of you that chose group number 1, which is the clear quartz. Okay, so let's take a look into your present baseline of energy. Let's get into first your non-spiritual gifts or talents, and then after that we'll do psychic or spiritual talents. Okay, so Spirit, this reading is for group number 1, please, our clear quartz group, and what their unique gifts are. Please provide us with clear guided messages for group number 1. Thank you, thank you. Okay, hopefully I'm not too jittery. I had a coffee at a late hour, so forgive me if I'm a little jittery. I'm sensitive to caffeine. Spirit, for group number 1, please, can you let us know what is an idea of group number 1's unique gifts, talents, powers that are earthly, non-spiritual, or non-psychic? Can you tell us what are their unique gifts and talents and abilities? Thank you, thank you. Group 1, please, clear quartz. What's their gift? What is their gift? Whoa, group 1, this is amazing to me. Your first card is the 7 of Swords. The 7 of Swords, since this is a card of illusion and deception, and the fact that you chose the clear quartz group, I love this so much. Your first gift that's being shown here is that you have the ability to see through illusion and deception. So that is both spiritual and non-spiritual. So let's look at the earthly piece of it first, right? You can tell when people are lying. Let's just leave it at that, right? You can tell when something isn't real, when something's not authentic, when something is, yes, either directly dishonest or deceptive, or there's just something not right about that, okay? So that could be a regular sort of, non-spiritual gift, but the other side of it is clearly, that this is a psychic ability too. So I wanted to separate categorize the questions, but we're already mixing them, so that's fine. So that's the first thing. You're able to see through the lies, the BS, that's what they said, the guide said that. And that is a very direct ability. It's a clear answer to me. So let's see if I can just go right into what activates this. Is that, well, I think that the first thing that activates this ability is lies or illusion. You're able to see that immediately, and you're able to feel it. A lot of you are able to feel it within the gut, within your intuition, but I think that there are many of you who can see it in other ways too. So I'm not sure exactly how. You can let me know in the comments, but I think for most of us, it does tend to kind of be in the gut where like something doesn't feel right here, or it's kind of seems fishy. It kind of seems, just weird. It's an overall feeling, but I think others of you, it comes from the head space, probably the maybe claircognizant or clairaudient ability, right? Where something is just telling you this isn't right. And it doesn't sit well with you. You don't like this. You need things to be in their truthful, authentic state. And when it isn't, there's a problem. So this is a big problem, in life for you in general. When you see this, you need to fix it, internally, because you're probably like a truth seeker or something like that, a truth teller, whatever it's called, truther. So that's your first unique gift, talent, and ability. That really blew me away how on point that was. Spirit, can you tell us a little bit more or something in addition to this ability for group 1? Okay, you have the Star. So I feel like many of you could be sort of celestial. There could be some starseed abilities for many of you, but if not directly only that, there's a lot of creative inspiration here and communication with some sort of divine source, okay? So I think that for this reading tonight, this is really going to just be a mixture. I'm not going to separate the questions anymore. I gave that up immediately. So you're drawing divine passion and creativity from higher sources. So I think that many of you, you're connecting with any of the divine higher powers, but I think that for a lot of you, you're actually connecting with your higher self. So I think that for this, what will activate this is probably just relaxing and receiving messages. And then others of you is taking action. So if you wanted to create anything or to create reality from the visions, what will activate it is if you take one small action step, because you're actually stirring the energy, stirring the pot in a sense, and you're creating forward motion. So really interesting messages and very powerful gifts here coming through in only 2 cards. So you're a force. So for group 1, what else do we need to know? What are their gifts, talents, abilities? Okay, so this is confirming what I said before, that you have the ability to see through illusions or deception. You're a truth seeker, a truth teller. You see things in their clarity. So what will help you to activate this is to, kind of similar to what I said before about relaxing, is to release fears or release any kind of blockages that is basically getting in the way of these abilities. So you work best when you're of clear mind, but if you are, let's say, overthinking or anxious or kind of trying to push and force things in a certain direction, this may not work to your benefit. So you may want to spend some time meditating, listening to nature sounds, and feeling just authentic and natural within yourself, just the way that you might feel on a nature walk. You feel very free and just open. So that's probably the best bet for you all. Okay, so that's just, again, confirming what we see here. I think a lot of you are able to see into the future, not in a way of expectation, but in a sense of vision. So this is a very important distinction, because expectations are built. Visions are basically just revealed. You know, they are seen and they come to us. Expectations is stuff that we overthink about. Yes. So I am getting a very authentic kind of a feeling here. If you don't feel authentic, then again, this is a lot of blockage that needs to be cleared. And then you will find your happiness, basically, for just that reason alone, living an authentic life. What else can we know about group number 1's unique gifts, talents, abilities, powers, any of these things? Clear quartz group, thank you. Okay, so same thing. This is you in your element. The Empress, this is a card of abundance, any kind of like natural vibes. What else? Creation again. So creation is big for you all. I think that there's a bit of a split energy here. I'm getting definitely the creative water kind of energy here, but then here I'm getting a little bit more of the logic based thing. I feel like it could be a mixture of both. I do think that there is a balance here of your ability to create and be abstract and artistic in that particular way, but the down-to-earth side here is the one that's able to put it into practice, taking steps and practical approaches, right? The logic part, okay? But yes, the Empress and the Star together, and the Queen of Swords, actually, all of this is pointing to your ability to create. So it was funny how it happened. It gave me that message in a very roundabout way. It did not tell me really directly, but that could be speaking about the way that you receive your messages, okay? Excuse me. So yes, you are inspired by divine. What I'm seeing in the Star card now, what I'm seeing in the Star card now is that there's a messenger behind you. There's this little bird behind you in the tree. And I am seeing that this is a direct spirit guide that helps you with your creativity. That's very, very true for creativity. I only discovered recently that how helpful guides are, or one particular guide can be when you're creating something and you just allow them to give you messages. So for you in group 1, there is a particular, I feel like I should probably show you, there's a particular guide. You see the bird here? There's a particular guide that rests behind you or near you in some way. I don't know if they're coming from the left or the right. I don't think that it matters, but they're kind of fluttering about you when you're doing your creative approaches. And this is coming from personal experience. The worst thing that you can do is force something and start to get frustrated and, you know, just really fed up. If that happens, you have to super relax. And this worked for me when I tried it. You have to really relax and let them bring you the inspiration. And if you're able to do that, it will come. If it doesn't for some reason, it also could be that they're trying to derail you and say, hey, work on something else, or that something about this isn't truth or genuine. Okay, so you, again, if you need help with creative inspiration, you have a particular guide, at least one that's kind of like flying about, fluttering about, almost like a hummingbird. I don't know what bird this is. Okay. So we have a lot to work with here, group 1. There's so many gifts and talents that are already coming through. Let me refocus on the sort of non-spiritual thing for a second. What other non-spiritual gifts and talents and abilities does group 1 have, please? What can we know about this? So you got the Six of Cups in reverse, okay? And you also paired with the Ten of Wands. So I think that one gift that you have, I'm trying to, I have a feeling it has to do with how you work with friendships and resolving issues. There could be a chance that you take it upon yourself to carry other people's burdens as a way of trying to solve or help them with their struggles or whatever, like suffering. You're very protective, and this is just your innate thing where you have this urge or drive to protect other people by carrying their burdens. So maybe you may not see that as a talent, but this is something about you that is natural to your being, and it's triggered by, as I probably said before, when you see people struggling or suffering, you want to help to carry their burdens. So that's a very interesting addition here. Okay, can you tell us a little bit more about their unique talents, powers, non-spiritual powers, or talents, please? Group 1. Okay. So you have here the High Priestess. So although this is a very psychic card, it is the card for intuition, and on the bottom I am noticing as well the Wheel of Fortune with all the spirit guides. So if we're looking at this in a non-spiritual way, this is still something that people could certainly consider non-spiritual, is that you have a strong gut, a strong intuition, and that is just leading us back to what we said about deception. But that doesn't only go for lies and deception. Your intuition is strong no matter what. You have this internal sense of direction, and if you may have found in your life that when you went against that the results didn't go in the best way. So you may have been kicking yourself saying, I should have just listened to my instincts. So maybe that's a better word for non-spiritual, is instincts, even reflexes, I guess. But you have a strong sense about you. This is your inner compass, and kind of like a beacon for you. I noticed, I saw a vision of a lighthouse. So I think that it's something that you will benefit greatly if you closely follow this instinct and intuition. So that's nice to know. All right, so we're getting a very well-rounded approach here, or guidance here. Can we have a little bit more for their unique gifts and talents, please? It's funny how there's like this empty square here in the middle. Let's see. What are their unique gifts and talents and powers? Well, that one we already knew. Okay, you are able to tell when, so it's the same thing as before. You are able to tell when people are suffering, and you can tell when, not if a person is being outright deceptive or dishonest, but you can tell when someone's holding back. You can tell when people have a blockage within their heart space, when they're not being trusting or vulnerable or open or something like that. All right. But I feel like this is also a message that has to do with your own heart space. So this is a bit of an additional thing here. They're saying that what activates the fullness of your abilities is for you to have clear space within your own heart. So you may want to do some heart chakra healing, and this will expand your abilities threefold if you have a clear, healed space within your own heart. So you can do heart chakra healing specifically, meditations, anything specifically of the heart space. Okay, so that's good to know. So I think I'm going to use a second deck and just to get a bit more detail. So you guys' messages definitely came in kind of jumbled. I don't know if that's going to happen for all of the groups. I will obviously find out, but I'm sorry if some of this came in a little, you know, kind of confusing. I hope that it was clear, but let me know. Spirit, can you tell us a little bit more about their psychic ability and what activates it? For group number 1, what are their psychic gifts? So you got the same one as before, but this time upright. This is the 6 of Cups. Oh, I see. You have a soul family. Or at least one, at least one soul friendship or soulmate, or some energies floating around Earth that you connect with effortlessly. So you may not consider that as a gift per se, but I think that it is, because if you're able to connect with anyone on a soul level, I feel like that is a magical thing. So they just wanted to let you know that you have a soul family here on Earth, and I would say that the best way to draw them towards you is just to simply be open to this, embody love and light within yourself, and you will naturally attract this. Obviously put it out there to manifest it. What are their psychic gifts, please? So you got the same card again from before, the Two of Swords. So it's the same thing, but this time I feel like it's a higher resonance. This person in the card is wearing a blindfold, so it's your ability to see beneath the surface of things is really on point. So we got multiple messages for that same thing. So you can, it's almost like you can literally see through things. So you can see through people, probably. You can see through any kind of veils of some sort. You can see through blockages. You can see through people. Like, you can see into people's energy, I think. I think some of you can literally see the energies of the chakras, and you can see colors. Ooh, I feel that. I can't personally see colors yet, I don't think. Sometimes I do, but not if I, not on an everyday basis. Like, I would have to really focus, but I think that there are some of you who can see colors of auras and energy centers. So that kind of took me by surprise. Some of you, if you don't currently, you can try it. You can actually just try this out. I think there's videos on this on YouTube of how to do that. So practice makes perfect. Okay. Anything else about their psychic gifts, please? And then you got the Knight of Swords. Okay, so this one. So this one's interesting. I feel like this has to do with your ability to follow an energy stream and kind of get caught up in the energy stream where you need to. So it's, you know how like they say go with the flow, but this could go either way for you, where let's say that you get caught up in an energy of excitement, or it could be the opposite and get caught up in the energy of whatever, negativity. So I think that you are extremely highly tuned into energy streams or emotions, and you just follow that and you kind of get swept up in it, okay? So if that's definitely true for me. Like, I get caught up in passion and excitement and like passionate creativity projects. Like I just start to talk really fast, and it's hard to calm down from that because the energy is so, you know, excitable and vibrant. So that's why I'm saying that this can go either way. So I think that the key is probably to remain grounded so that you don't kind of have, like, you know, imbalance. But that's random. But that's interesting. Any other messages about their psychic gifts, please? For group one, what are their psychic abilities, talents, anything? The High Priestess again. So that is another repeat card. That's the third one. Okay, but this time you have an extra oomph to it. So they are confirming that your intuition is extremely high powered. Your empathy is high powered, just like your ability to soak up all of the emotions, energy, thoughts, everything. I am surprised that the Queen of Cups did not come through in this reading at all. I'm very surprised because that would be sort of like, you know, the hallmark queen for this ability. So what I am noticing this time is the moon. So you guys may be particularly affected by full moons. Be very careful with full moons. I never knew about this, but apparently it amplifies the energy of whatever we're going through in that time or something like that. And wow, does it really makes an impact. So I think that you're highly connected to the moon. You may want to look into some meditations and moon cycles and stuff like that, because it also amplifies your powers too. So intuition, moon energy, and you could be, I think actually, yeah, that connects with the star. You're definitely some sort of a star seed of some kind. And I don't know too much about star seeds other than the fact that star seeds have a special mission. They theoretically could be from another planet, kind of a thing. I know it sounds kind of weird to some people, but it's real. So there could be some sort of ancient energy that you are connected to. I think that sounds really cool. So most likely you've had past lifetimes in ancient time periods, okay? So that's as far as they're telling me. So you may, oh, one more thing, dreams. You have the ability to either lucid dream or astral project. You guys know what that is? Astral projection, I don't have a ton of experience, but it's happened to me plenty of times, yes, but I don't really, know too much about it. But when we sleep, sometimes our energy or our soul kind of lifts up and just travels the astral realm. And there, the vibration is like incredibly powerful. It feels quite real. You can have basically psychic predictions come true in these dreams in real life later on. It's fascinating stuff. So yeah, that's an amazing thing. And the fact that it connected back to the High Priestess sincerely, your energy is very strong. It's hard for me to articulate a lot of this. Yes, I'm very sleep deprived, but I should be able to form a coherent sentence. So this is what I'm seeing for you. Now, one final thing that will help to activate your psychic abilities, Group 1. I'm being drawn to tell you about certain crystals or tools that will help you. So here we have the clear quartz, right? You may naturally be drawn to this. I do have some variations of the clear quartz. I don't really work with crystals, but I feel like you guys would be successful if you began to work with certain crystals. And clear quartz is something they're drawing me to tell you, but there was another one called a Herkimer diamond. I've heard of it a long time ago. You can check it out, see if it resonates with you, if you're able to get it. Any clear crystals would be good. And obviously any crystals that you're drawn to will still be a good choice. And I think for crystals and tools, that's all I want to say. But I did get a vision of one other thing. For some of you, it was a sound bowl or any kind of thing that makes high frequency noises such as bells or chimes, okay? That will help to activate some of your abilities. So let's get a final guidance message or a final poll here. Can we have any other final messages for Group 1, and what are their unique gifts, talents, powers, anything? Okay, you have the Emperor. So again, we're being called back to your ability to protect other people. Yes, there also is a message about kind of creating order and structure in life, but I feel like this has to do with your ability to protect others. And I also feel that you are highly protected as well by your guides, your angels, and divine. Okay, that's another good one to come through. One final message, please. What is your guidance for Group 1 in this reading? Thank you. Okay, so here we have the Four of Pentacles, and that's so, oh my God, I can't believe this came out. The Queen of Cups. Okay, so the reason, Group 1, why it didn't come out before, and you can see here, it's paired with a sort of a blockage card. What they're trying to tell us is that some of your abilities at the current time may be a bit blocked or stifled or like in a bit of a lull. And the reason I think that this is just simply because of stress and anxiety and fears. You know, maybe you're lacking physical care right now. Maybe you're not sleeping. I did mention that here, so that was not a coincidence. So they want you to take a little bit better care of your physical and just like have more self-care, and also to release a lot of the anxious worries that you've been having. Okay, try to be more present, ground yourself, meditate, stuff like that. Easier said than done, but they're asking you to begin that process, okay? This is what will help to activate your powers, is feeling more clear and more balanced. All right, so Group 1, sorry for the background noise. This is what I have for you, and again, I'm sorry if some of this came out jumbled. I had to go with the flow of your energy and of the answers, so I hope that this made sense, and I do hope that this resonated. Please let me know in the comments, actually. I would love to hear your feedback to see if this fits with your personality. If some of it didn't, and these abilities rang true for you or you were intrigued by them, please try it out. You can always get books and read articles or look at YouTube videos to try any of these abilities that I've talked about. Okay, so again, it's a general reading. Personal reading info's in the description. If you enjoyed this, feel free to subscribe, share, and hit the notification thing. Thank you guys so much. Sending you blessings, and I will see you next time. Okay, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, this is the reading for those of you that chose group number 2, which is the butterfly, the green butterfly. Well, green and black. So group 2, real quick, I like to learn from my mistakes. In group 1, I feel I was a bit jumbled. So what I'm going to try for you is I do want to separate the categories for you so that it's not all over the place. So either way, I'll just go with the flow and hope for the best, okay? Spirit, this reading is for group number 2, please, our butterfly group. And the energies for them, especially, what are their unique gifts, talents, powers, abilities, both spiritual and non-spiritual. Please provide us with clear guided messages for group 2. Thank you. Okay, so the first thing let's try to get is the non-spiritual, or like the sort of earthly abilities, like talents, gifts, stuff like that. Spirit, for group number 2, please, our butterfly group, what are their earthly or non-psychic gifts, talents, and abilities, please, for group 2, our butterflies? What are their talents? Okay, let me see. We have the Ace of Cups. Sometimes when I don't mean to pop it out, I don't know if I should take it, but let's take it. Okay, group number 2, what are their talents and gifts, non-psychic? Okay, so you've got actually a good bit of cards here. So again, we have the Ace of Cups, lots of heavy water energy here. And then you have the High Priestess, the 10 of Cups, more sort of watery energy here. And then you do have the Knight of Pentacles that is pretty obviously coming in the reverse, so I will read it in the reverse. All right, so for your first talent or gift that is being showcased here, this is a mix of a few different talents, which I think is a great thing. And I think that it says something that the butterfly that you were drawn to was like kind of half and half-ish, green and black. I just feel that you're a, what's the word? Complex, I don't want to say. You're a complex, sort of intricate type of mind is, I think, what I'm trying to say. It makes me feel like you're extremely analytical in a sense, and similar to one thing that I said in group 1, I feel like you're an interesting mixture of creative and logical, but I am feeling that you're extremely analytical. So that is a wonderful thing. It can bite us in the butt when we overthink, though. I will mention that obvious piece. Keep in mind that I'm not actually seeing that in the cards. You guys are telling it to me almost as if you wanted me to read between the lines, which is kind of funny, because it's true to your nature. So now looking at the cards, it's... Oh, I see what you're doing here, group 2. So this is a different thing. You're showing okay, these cards are giving me the feelings of you that you exude into the world, right? You're giving out a beautiful energy of love, of psychic energy, healing energy. And this is what people feel when they are near you. And this is just such a beautiful thing. So you are, therefore, natural healers, right? Natural healers, empaths, you connect with other people. I think that you're highly therapeutic to others by them just speaking to you, being in your presence, okay? So yes, I feel like that this is going to be a common theme for most people who watch this video in general. But for you guys, the unique piece of it is the fact that you are highly analytical and insightful. So I don't know if many of you could even be counselors of some kind, or mentors or healers, Reiki healers, stuff like that. Working with animals, children, you know, would be a different piece of it too. But because of that ability to really pick apart things and solve puzzles and riddles, this is very beneficial to anybody who speaks to you, because you're helping them to uncover themselves. You are fostering their own enlightenment. And I think that you're naturally this way in your brain. You're naturally just, that's who you are. But I also think that this is one of your gifts. Like, you have the gift, but you also enjoy the gift and you exercise this frequently. So another gift that I will naturally add to this, because of the nature of the mind here, is you're probably, even though I will bet you that a lot of you are going to disagree with this, but I think that a lot of you are gifted writers, okay? And you already know that I'm going to be extremely biased to that. I am going to immediately point out to you guys in group 2 that you're most likely going to also be attracted to group number 5, which is the book charm, okay? So if you want, you can feel free to check that one out if you also felt similarly called to it. So I think that you would be amazingly gifted writers, maybe even philosophers, any form of writing or communicating, I will add, you know, because some of you may not want to write, but you may want to speak. So that is also, I think, a part of this as well. So I'm going to continue to say to you that your cards are not actually speaking to me at all, but they are sort of like resonating with me. This is completely feeling, and that I don't think I've ever come across that. I'm feeling this wave of love and warmth and peace just naturally coming from you. So maybe you guys are the best huggers ever, you know, like people just feel comforted and warmed by your actual physical embrace, okay? And maybe like whatever, like the way that you give affection and stuff like that. I wonder what this is, the Knight of Pentacles coming in the reverse. Maybe you get people unstuck, maybe you unstick issues and problems. Again, I mentioned before, problem solving and riddles and stuff like that. Okay, so now let's go to a different direction with the cards, or at least a different shuffle. Can you tell us more about their non-psychic, non-spiritual gifts, please? Their talents. Group 2. Okay, so you have the Moon. Very similar answer here is that you're able to see through confusion. Yes, you're able to see through illusion. Group 1 also got that. Again, some of these are going to be very overlapping, but the unique piece of this is your ability to see through confusion to make sense of things. So I feel like your brain is always high-powered to do this. So maybe not 100% of you are like feeling like you're skilled in organizing things. Maybe you feel like you could be a messy or cluttered person, but I think that when you're able to fine-tune and target a task for yourself or for other people, you're able to really sort through any confusion and make it understandable, kind of like, I guess, digestible, whether it's a room full of people arguing and nothing makes sense, or it's like some sort of a messy situation. You're just able to get into all of that and make peace and order and clarity for this. So that is a unique ability, I feel, and very desired in a team setting. So can you tell us more about their unique gifts, talents, powers? Group number 2, Butterfly. I do feel you're very poetic. I don't know if you write poetry or if you have, but I feel like you're naturally a poetic kind of a person. People listen to you. They're like, oh, wow, that really makes sense, or that's a beautiful thing to say. Maybe they quote you. Okay, so we already saw this before. Temperance, this is confirming the fact that you are natural healers or peacemakers. I don't get peacemaker in a sense that you're a people pleaser or something like a yes person. I'm not getting that. I feel like No, I think that this is just your energy walking into the room in a situation, and you create peace in a way where I suppose it could be from either your calmness or your voice of reason. That's another nod to the word voice. They're highlighting your voice. So I think that a lot of people are calmed and soothed by either the tone of your voice or what you're saying, your actual words. Okay, so again, going back, this fits perfectly with what I said before, like your writers, your poets, your philosophers. This is really super intriguing. Okay, what else? What else? What do we need to know here? So we have here the Six of Cups. Again, very similar here. You are sharing your warmth with others. The Six of Cups here is giving me even more warmth than I saw before. And I'm confirmed here with the Page of Cups at the bottom that this has to now do with energy of innocence. So some of you may say directly it could be relating to a childhood or childlike energy. But this is pure energy. So you must be very pure within your heart, within your soul. I think that you do everything with a sense of purpose. If you don't do things with a sense of purpose, then it may bother you. It may make you feel kind of directionless and like you might think that certain things are pointless or just like kind of questioning it. You need a sense of purpose, okay? So I got mostly the non-spiritual gifts, but before I go into the psychic gifts a little bit more, because some of it did come through, I wanted to talk about how these abilities are activated, or how it can like best shine. And what's funny is that I saved that question for last, but what's funny is that all you have to do is literally just be yourself. You don't have to try. You naturally bring this with you. This is your mind. This is the way that you think. This is what you enjoy. I think most of you enjoy, like, you know, the analytics of things. And if you don't currently, I think that if you started to get into some of this stuff, like, for example, if you know, read a psychology book, you took a course, something like that, or like if you learned a particular method of analytics and stuff, I think that this would really activate it for you. And the moment that you begin to enjoy it is when it would activate even more. Okay, so again, very interesting here. So now I'm going to get into more of the direct psychic abilities. So what deck do you guys want to use? See, we're overthinking it. We are overthinking it. So I have to go with my first instinct. Let's just use the next in line here to not overthink this. See, and if it doesn't work, I'll try another one. Spirit, what are group number 2's psychic abilities now? What are their psychic abilities and how is it activated, please, for our butterfly group? Okay. You know what? I have to say, they don't want me to use this deck. We did it. We did the overthinking. I was considering using any of these three here. Let's try this one. And I'm going to just switch around. Can you please tell us what are their psychic gifts? For group number 2, what are their psychic abilities, please? Just one for now. So you want to share the space here. So it's the same thing. You have a very long line of lives before you where you could have been a light warrior, okay? So a light worker, I think this is a definition anyway, someone who's a light worker who fights for sort of like the war on darkness, if you will. You're a person to really fight and be resilient and persistent and never, ever, ever give up. As well, at least in your past lifetimes is what it's showing me. Up until now, you have not ever given up. So you may not think that that's like a psychic thing, but I feel like it definitely is, because within you is that stirring light that you have naturally. Can you tell us, for group number 2, what are their psychic gifts, their psychic abilities? Okay, we have here the 3 of Pentacles. Can we have a clarifier just for this one? This one I feel like it's talking about your spirit guides. There's something here having to do with both your spirit guides, but also your ability to create balance, especially karmically. Your presence on planet Earth creates balance in the grand scheme of things. Wow, right? That's huge. that kind of knocked me knocked me off balance there itself, because that's quite a message. Okay, your existence creates balance. That means you're a force of nature, for goodness sake. So that's one of your gifts. And again, you don't have to do anything. Nothing needs to even be activated here, because you're naturally like this. All you have to do is be your authentic self. Can you tell us more? What are their unique or specific psychic abilities? You have the Three of Swords, okay? So, okay. You may not like this message, but here it is. Part of your psychic ability is the fact that, remember before with the many lifetimes and being so persistent? There's a downside to that, but it's good or bad here. You have carried the wounds and some of the swords from past lifetimes too. Now the advantage to this is that the advantage to this is that you have this sort of genetic memory of how to do many different things. So that is a gigantic advantage, because this means you can probably do anything that you want, such as like anything, any kind of new hobby or passion or art or whatever. Like if you wanted to take up a new creative hobby or learn a new language or do some kind of a thing of a different culture that you never experienced before, because of your past lifetime and all of this this memory within you and your soul's, I guess, DNA, you're able to carry that with you. But obviously the downside is that there's a lot of baggage that may come with it. So please try to do some clearing. Okay, clear your energy, just cleanse yourself and your spirit. And perhaps a lot of you may need to do some past life healing as well. Okay, so that's part of what can activate this ability, is to clear and to cleanse. And you're gonna probably need to cleanse like regularly. You know, I think that's advice for all of us, to cleanse and clear regularly. Can you tell us more about their unique psychic abilities, please, group 2? Okay, so yes, we have the Star. That one I feel like is very obvious, you know, star energy, celestial energy, high-powered frequency. I'm getting the number 7 from here, so this is connecting to the crown chakra. So I am seeing this vision here. Oh, now this is really unique. Wow, I just saw it. Here you have the Two of Pentacles. This is going to sound a little odd, but I guess not, right? What I am seeing here is that, okay, sorry, just bear with me, because this is a very strange thing I'm about to tell you. I got this vision of you being here on Earth and a different part of you in a different resonance or frequency being in an entirely different dimension. Is that even a thing? Because I don't know. If you can let me know in the comments if that's a thing, because I'm seeing you being kind of split between 2 different dimensions. That's what this is talking about. Okay, so it's almost as if maybe your earthly self and like your higher self, or some part of you that's connected to the godly, divine type of plane, is going back and forth like this, kind of like sending messages back and forth. Like they told me the word synapse. That's that has to do with connection and communication, right? So there's just something going on with the way that you look at this. I went like this. There's something going on with the way that you communicate with the realms. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Death card. So again, this has to do with the many lifetimes that you've had and the communication that you carry within the depths of your being. So that message was so intense that I really can't even, there's no words left. There are no words. Let me put this away, and I'm just going to get one final thing, because I can sense that there's so much more where this came from, but I don't want to overwhelm anyone, including myself. So let's just get a final kind of a message here. Spirit, what are the final messages for group number 2 and their unique talents, psychic gifts, anything that they need to hear at this time? And again, like with that final thing that I just said, I think that actually for that one, to activate it, this is going to be tough. To activate that particular ability, I feel like it's going to take some work. It's going to take time to balance your 7 chakras, to surrender to divine, to achieve relative balance and centeredness within yourself. It is going to take some practice, but through your regular spiritual journey and development, when you reach more and more of your enlightenment, or whatever you want to call it, your development, naturally, when you get higher and higher, this will expand. You're already doing this, though. That's the thing. You may not see it, but you're already communicating with higher level powers or realms or whatnot, okay? Final message, please, for group number 2. What do they need to hear about themselves, please? Yeah, that's... I feel like this is going to sound obvious, but the 10 of Wands, this is a card of burden. So obviously, after all of your lifetimes, your learning, everything that you've acquired over all of this time, it's heavy, okay? So I don't know how realistic this is going to be, but if you're able to surrender the burdens, to release the heaviness, your powers will exceed far beyond you ever thought. It's going to amplify because you're making space for it. You know, you're freeing your soul, you're freeing the heavy burdens of the past and of the present and even of the future, and you're completely free and clear. And what you've done, if you achieve that, is that you've created a clear conduit space. So it's like you're clearing all of the pipes, you're clearing out the entire vessel, and that's when it's going to really ascend. So that's a tall order. I totally understand that, but they just wanted to let you know. Okay, so maybe start with 1 wand, you know, to put down. What is 1 burden you can put down, and you're going to immediately see a difference with some of these abilities, okay? So group 2, again, there's a lot more where this came from, but I feel like this is so much. You're the types of beings to really be this powerful, you know, intense sort of gold aura type of energy. Gold auras, I don't know much about the numerology, but I read once that gold aura people can kind of do anything that they want. They can create anything. I'm not saying that that's necessarily your color. I'm just saying that attribute is of you, that you can do and create anything. So this your reading alone could have gone on for a very long time, but I will leave it there because it's just too much. But group number 2, that's what I have for you for today. I really hope that this was helpful. Please let me know if it resonated. Remember, it's general, but the info for personal reading is in the description, okay? Please subscribe and share and all that stuff if you found this helpful. Thank you once again. I'm sending you love, and I will see you next time, okay? Take care. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, this is the reading for those of you that chose group number 3, which is the sand timer or the mini hourglass, or is it a minute glass? Okay, so let's get into your energy. Spirit, this reading is for group number 3, please. Sand timer, or blue sand timer group, and the energies for them, especially their unique gifts. Please provide us with clear guided messages for group 3. Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the flow of the questions. Some of the it might kind of end up getting jumbled as I just kind of showed you with my words. Let's just go with the flow here. Spirit, for group number 3, please. Can you let us know, give us an idea, what are some of their unique unique gifts, talents, and abilities. Maybe non-spiritual abilities first. Talents. Group 3. Okay, that is a beautiful thing to see. The Wheel of Fortune as your first card. I think I said to one person in a personal reading recently that for my readings, this is very rare for you, for the first card, okay, to be a powerful major arcana card such as the Wheel of Fortune. So this is very rare. Check out your spirit guides just swirling all around you, okay? So I love this message. This is an incredible message. So group number 3, your first unique talent is that you are intimately connected with destiny and with, I suppose, existence maybe, or like this dimension. You're connected to everything. And I am blown away by that message. I love that. That is truly unique. I don't think I've ever really heard that anywhere, or said that. I don't remember at least, but that is an amazing thing. So I'm just soaking that in as I'm formulating my next words. Okay, so there's this blank book that these guides are holding. I did recommend to a different group to check out a different option. Okay, let me put it this way. Group 3, if you were also drawn to any other group, please listen to it. Okay, some of you might say like, oh, I only wanted to choose one, but let's, be real here. You were probably very drawn to a second group, so please listen to that one in the end as well, after this one, okay? So, they told me with this first card, one of your unique talents is that you have the ability to write your own destiny, okay? Wow. Let me just take my time with these messages because this is sincerely intense stuff for me. You are a co-creator of your own destiny, of your own path. So I don't really know how destiny works, I suppose, but I think that there's a potential destiny, and then the rest of it is up to us to sort of meet it halfway. So you are the creators or co-creators of everything that is ahead of you, okay? So that being said, be careful with what you manifest, because you can certainly go in both directions. That could be, you can manifest amazing blessings and success, or you could manifest, a lot of darkness and unhappiness and all of that. So please be careful with the thoughts and beliefs that you feed your own soul. Okay, so that one message, it's huge, so it's still kind of forming. I can feel like these clouds just like solidifying in front of me here. There's another gift and ability that is coming through. It's a psychic one, and they literally said the phrase fortune telling, or the word fortune telling. And yes, it's Wheel of Fortune, but you have the ability to fortune tell. So this means that if you were to, some of you may not choose to use tools, or I don't really know what to call them, but you may choose to just do it on your own with your just no tools at all. But if you were to use any kind of helpers, such as tarot cards, oracle cards, maybe those runes, tea leaves, or, oh my God, what was the other one that I heard recently? It was kind of like, I forget what it was, but there ways of using divination. So some of you may choose to use pendulums, stuff like scrying. Some of you may get really into it, and maybe, you do stuff with like rituals and whatever else like that. But any avenue that you use, I feel will be successful, okay? If you can think of what I'm trying to say, it was like the tip of my tongue. It was something very out there. It was similar to tea leaves, where people do divination from that. I can't remember for the life of me what it was. But any of these things would be successful. So yes, you can fortune tell. Now, if you choose to not use that, you could still fortune tell. I think that you're able to, like, wow, you guys in group 3, and it's funny because obviously you got the sand timer, like this hourglass thing, and it's talking about time. It's almost as if time doesn't really exist to you in a weird way. So that is why you are particularly skilled at actually telling the future. Now, I don't like to really tell the future. I have a whole reason for that, like a whole philosophy behind that. You don't need to hear that right now. But the gist of it is that I do feel that the future is not ever really set in stone, but I think that your unique gift is the fact that you're able to kind of pull out the single thread of the future in its, how can I even phrase this? The future in its most solid potential and possibility. And you just blurt it out, and you just say it because you feel like it. And it ends up freaking being exactly on point. That's kind of scary. I'm sure that if you tried it, if you just went for it, you would kind of end up scaring a lot of people, okay? You know how some people will say stuff, like strangers will say like, oh yeah, you're gonna have two children and they're gonna look like this and their eyes are gonna look like that, and you're just like, okay, people don't really receive that well if they're not spiritual. But I think that that's what's going on here. It's just this eerie ability to fortune tell, and I love this. This is high powered stuff. This is the energy that I, as a tarot reader, would see from another psychic who is way more experienced than me. Like I haven't really run into it too much, but I have seen it. I've heard of it, especially like my friends of like going back to their countries and stuff like that. Like their ancestors and not ancestors, like their, the people higher up in the line of their family line. So anyway, yeah, so I did take my time with this card. I did not draw anything else on purpose because this is just a lot of high-powered stuff going on here. So going to the activation piece, how can you activate this? The first thing of what I said of you co-creating, this one, okay, in order to activate your ability to co-create your existence, your path in front of you, your destiny, one, you have to kind of know what you want to create. That's tricky. Only because you have to make sure that you're being true to yourself, genuine to your path. I say that a lot, and it's true here as well. Okay, you don't have to have any visions per se, but you just have to be truthful and genuine to yourself. The second piece of what I said about fortune telling, obviously there to activate that, you just have to try it out. Maybe go to a spiritual store, whether it's in person or online, and pick anything that calls to you and just give it a try. Please let me know in the comments if you end up doing this. I would love to hear about the results, okay? Spirit, for group number 3, our Sand Timer group, what are their unique talents, powers, gifts, either earthly or psychic? One final thing I want to add, this card is filled with messages. One final thing that I want to add is that you have to work with your spirit guides for best results, okay? So just maybe get a book on this. For you guys, you may need to do a little bit of like more serious homework for this, but there's plenty of books and videos that help us to work with our spirit guides, okay? So I just wanted to mention that. What are their unique talents, gifts, powers, abilities? Group 3, unique. Yeah, so case in point, the lovers, you have the angel pop out here. This is your guardian angel or your highest level spirit guide that is coming through here. This is going to take your powers to the next level. I think it's because, one, they give us information. Yes, they're the ones that are channeling this through us. But another reason is because you're sharing their frequency and living on their sort of resonance or whatever. Okay, you're receiving. Remember that you are receiving that light. And then the way that you bring it to earth is that you sort of like enact it with your own personal sense of power, something like that. And the Queen of Swords, okay? Queen of Swords, she's holding up this sword as a bit of a rod, like almost like a lightning rod or, something kind of like that. And again, I am seeing that image of the information coming from the heavens down to earth, basically the magician card. If he's pointing upward and downward. Okay, so this is not a new thing, but they're further confirming of how your powers can be activated. You have to, okay, here's a tip here. I'm feeling it now. In order for you to get the most out of your abilities, you have to operate from a higher frequency. That is definitely not an easy thing to do, but one way that you can do this is meditate on releasing lower vibrations such as negative energies, negative emotions, limiting thoughts and beliefs, and you want to meditate and rise into the higher frequencies, which is stuff like light, love, connection to divine, higher self, anything positive and pure and stuff like that. I know that that's probably going to be a difficult thing to do. Some people work their whole lives to do this, but just know that that's one thing that will help to activate your ability. I've heard of some people... Okay, well, I don't want to get into this topic because it could be a little, tricky here. But if you wanted to do something such as a retreat, a nature walk, a vision quest, something that can purify you, cleanse you. Some people do detoxing or fasting, like a lot of religions, I think, will incorporate some of these things. But if you wanted to purify or detox your vessel, physical vessel, and your mind through meditation, that is another way that you can really amplify this ability. Yes, that's true for any ability, but for you in particular with this intensity, you're going to need to be operating from some space that has clarity. So if it's too difficult to do what I just said, simple 5-minute or to 15-minute meditation in a clear environment will also work. If you don't have access to a clear, a peaceful environment, then anything with nature, looking up at the sky will also be helpful. Okay. I'm getting very winded here because of how powerful this is. Oh my God. Okay. Should I change my deck? I think I probably should. Yes, I should. So let's go ahead and use the, I forget the name of this. Is this Mystical Manga Tarot, maybe? Spirit, can you tell us a little bit more about their earthly talents and psychic gifts, whichever one wants to come through? For group number 3, our Blue Sand Timer group. Thank you. It's really funny about time, though. I don't know if you are attracted to time or timepieces or clocks. What was the word? Antiques. Okay, so I think that all of the groups so far are old souls, have a lot of lifetimes behind them, but you are giving me a specific vibration here. I feel that there was a past lifetime in which you were literally a hermit of some kind. So the hermit energy was, he's still here at the bottom? No, I moved it. What I mean by hermit is I feel that in a past lifetime, you were of a higher order. It could have been, I don't know if it was a religious thing per se, but there was like a sacred energy to whatever it was that you were doing. And specifically, I see that you were alone, okay? So maybe some of you have had visions where in a past lifetime you could have been, maybe like in a monastery or like a temple. Something holy and sacred is what I'm feeling. And that was random, but I felt it. Figured I would tell you that, okay? Spirit, for group number 3, anything else? What are their unique gifts, talents, abilities? As I was shuffling, I did feel that there was a distinct artistic ability. You did get the Page of Swords, okay? I feel like you were drawn to this group because of the art actually on it. Artistic. Let me see what they're trying to say. Is there anything we need to know about this ability that needs to come through? So you could channel visions through art, okay? Wow, talk about unique. I am really, every single message is blowing me away more and more. I kind of doubt that many of you have tried that unless you actually are an artist or you've done art classes or whatever. But you may want to try that. So the way that I recommend that you can do this, number one, how can I? You want to do this naturally. Don't force it, because if you do that, it does affect what comes to us. But just whenever you feel so called, maybe take a notebook or a blank piece of paper or whatever you have, and really breathe into this and allow any kind of information to come to you through specifically drawings. I've never seen that message come through in a reading. I've talked about automatic writing because I've heard of it, but I never heard of drawing. Actually, come to think of it, this is a big duh. I have a friend who does this, and she does readings through art. I completely bypassed that. But I just figured that that was her medium of choice because she's an artist. But for you guys, you do not need to be an artist. You see the sword here is kind of like the pencil or the pen or the paintbrush or whatever you're using, crayons even, do any kind of art, let it come to you. If you want to get a sketchbook, that would be really cool. But let's say that you're doing similar to what I'm doing with tarot. Just let the visions or answers come to you through art. This is really wild. So over here, we have the King of Coins. Okay, I'm not really getting too much of a different message other than you're channeling this air, the information almost out of the air, and you're channeling it to something physical, which would be the actual pad of paper and stuff like that. Can you tell us more about their unique talents, gifts, powers, abilities? I mean, the non-spiritual piece of that would be, why not get into art or anything similarly creative? That could be a talent right there. So this one does not need an activation answer because that is the activation in itself, is picking up the pen or the whatever, the instrument. Yes, instrument. It's funny they said instrument. I wonder if you have a musical ability too. Probably you do, I have to say. Any other final messages for group number 3 and their unique gifts, talents, powers, abilities, anything? So we are confirmed here that you are a master of receiving messages from realistically any source that you're open to and that you naturally vibe with anyway. So if you wanted to receive messages from, like, let's say, nature and some specific element, all you have to do is envision it and immerse yourself in it, and you will receive messages. So like if this was the show Avatar, you could bend anything. Okay, you could work with air, fire, water, or like you could work with any of the elements and you would be successful. I'll get more into that in a moment. The other card is strength. So here, this ability here is just simply your inner strength. So this could be your sense of, yes, resilience, but also I'm feeling, of course here, bravery and courage and the fortitude of your heart and your ethics and your morals. So I feel like that is a bit of probably earthly energy, even though this is technically Leo energy, fire. There's a huge strength about your heart. I feel that you have such integrity about you, and and there is a uniqueness behind that because of how strong it is. And people, I feel that at the end of the day, that if you stand in your morals, that nobody can, convince you or tempt you to go into something immoral or unethical. The only way that you would is if you wanted to, I guess. But going back to this card here, the Eight of Wands, you can see in this version there's actually hands connecting with the wands. The original, or rather the Rider-Waite, doesn't feature that. Yeah, so there's something here with the hands. This is funny that I mentioned the Avatar and bending. Like, if you haven't seen that show, Avatar: The Last Airbender, please watch it. It's so good. Like, ultimately, I feel like the show really came together. It's an amazing thing for psychics and empaths to watch. So you are kind of manipulating, not in a bad way, you're altering some energy here. And that's actually what they are doing on the show, which I find hilarious that it's shown here. You have the ability to move energy. I'm still laughing because it's every single ability is so rare and unique that I'm actually laughing because I can't believe that we're uncovering more and more, and you can't make this stuff up, I feel. So you have the ability to move energy. So that being said, I think that you would be very talented and benefit from stuff like maybe Tai Chi. I've heard of Qigong. I don't really know much about it. Probably anything like that, anything similar that uses energy or spiritual sort of philosophy and healing added with physical movement. I guess yoga would be maybe another example of that. But Tai Chi specifically came to my mind because that's sort of what they're doing, right? So please try it. This would be an amazing thing to witness what you could do when you move energy. Be careful with this talent because you know, you could seriously create and change a lot by just this sort of energy altering or energy flow. Just make sure that whatever you're focusing on, that this is aligning with your highest good, that it's aligning with, you know, any kind of positive purposes. But I will leave it there. Obviously, it is up to you what to do with your own abilities, but I just figured I'd add that in there, okay? I'm going to just do one final pull because even though this is like the least amount of cards I've ever seen any group get, I think, but let's just do one more because this is really, yeah, it's overwhelming. Any final message for group number 3, please, in their gifts, talents, abilities, and how it's activated? Okay, we have here the 2 of Pentacles. I think that that one's interesting. You have an internal sense of, I think it's like either rightness or justice, or like something here is talking about your ability to make the right decisions and be extremely certain of what is right for you or what is right in general. So that might not seem like the most fun thing in this reading at all, but making a decision is life-changing. Right? It can be life-changing. So I think their final message for you here, group 3, is that you have to trust yourself. The way that you make your decisions, you can fine-tune that. Make sure that you are going with the method that works for you, whether that means you're going with your logic, or you're going with your instincts, or you're going with your claircognizance, or you're going with like a different ability. Whatever has worked for you in the past, keep using that. And they're asking you to trust yourself because you are on point when it comes to making these important decisions for yourself and just in general, knowing what's right in it, like even for others, not that you would impose, but like just knowing what is right, knowing that inner sense of rightness. Okay. So, wow. Amazing reading, amazing reading. So that is what I have for you for today. It's funny because as I'm closing this up, one of my eyes closed, and that happens when the energy is too much and I have to like 50% shut it off because it's just a lot coursing through my head. So group 3, wow. Please let me know in the comments if this resonated, and if any of this stuff intrigued you and you're not quite there yet, please try it out and let me know how it goes, okay? So I will leave it there. If you enjoyed this reading, feel free to subscribe, share, all that stuff. And again, it's a general reading. Personal reading info is in the description. Thank you guys so much. This was really fun, and I hope to see you next time, okay? Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, this is the reading for those of you that chose group number 4, which is the wooden heart. Okay, so let's get into it. But before I begin, I just want to say that I'm going to go with the flow of either the spiritual or non-spiritual gifts. Things might get jumbled, but let's just go with it. Spirit, this reading is for group number 4, our wooden heart group. Or wooden card, I don't know what to call it. Please provide us with clear guided energies for group number 4. Thank you, thank you. Spirit, for group number 4, our wooden heart group, can you tell us a little bit about their unique talents, abilities, maybe just starting off with non-spiritual talents, please? Thank you. Group 4, heart. You know, it would be kind of funny and on the nose if you had woodworking abilities, like the ability to carve stuff and to be handy and whatever. Let's see what the cards say, but I thought that would be nice. So, your very first card you have is the Hermit. I don't want to jump to conclusions and say that most of you are loners or introverts, but that would be my obvious guess. But let's just draw a few more cards. Can you tell us for group number 4, please? What are their unique talents and abilities? You know what I'm getting from the Hermit card? I tried to separate spiritual and non-spiritual, but I feel like for you guys, there is no separation. I feel that you walk this path of your lives, of this realm, of this existence, and you tend to be very... I do feel that you tend to be very philosophical in a lot of ways. Another group got that message too, but for you, I'm feeling something specific here. I feel that you're always asking questions about this existence, thereby being existential in a lot of ways. So yes, I would confirm that many of you are introverted by nature. This does not mean that you're antisocial, although it could mean that, you know. It just means that you tend to be invigorated or replenished by your alone time. And by that vein, many of you could be, not all the time, but you could be drained by social activity sometimes. But yeah, I do think here that there's a natural curiosity about you. You ask questions constantly, or you have asked questions and you've put it out there into the universe. That's what I was feeling from you, now that that word came through, group 4, that you have a special connection to the universe. Okay? I'm seeing a vision of some kind of cosmic energy. I guess it could be something having to do with the planets or astronomy, stars maybe, but it definitely feels cosmic in some way. Let me just forgive me for what I'm about to say, but because some people, you know, it's different opinions on this, but if some of you in group 4 tend to like to use certain substances, I'll say, let's call it non-harmful substances, you know, going on a trip or something like that. I feel that when you tend to do that and alter your consciousness, whether it's through substances or not, so for example, high-level meditation, or if you're delving into things like astral projection, or like dreaming or something like that, you don't just, you're not actually staying on Earth. You're kind of like traveling or visiting other frequencies or realms or something like that. And I think that if you have had some of these experiences that I'm speaking of, you may have literally met higher level beings. You may have even, I mean, I don't really know about this myself, but I feel like you may have even met God or like spoken to angels or something like that. So this is really an amazing thing and quite unique. I'm so happy I put the word unique in the title, because the messages of tonight's reading have been insanely rare and unique. It's just crazy to me what's been coming through here. So yes, you are this lone hermit, enlightened, curious explorer. Okay, I think that that's probably the appropriate word, is explorer. So what comes to mind is actually the 8 of Cups. So In another reading, you may have also heard me say this word. I feel like for you guys in group 4, you may tend to feel a bit nomadic. Maybe you feel like you're a wanderer. If you deem this as a bad thing, I don't think that this is a negative thing at all. I think that this is a natural urge of your spirit to have freedom and to explore. That's basically just it. If you feel like you're unstable or like you just want to, like if you feel like there's something wrong with that, try to look at it from that perspective and you may feel like it resonates with you. You're an explorer. That's it. Like a spelunker of some kind. Deep caves, the image came to my mind when I said that. You just take plunges into the unknowns. There's a lot of us, naturally human beings are wired to be afraid of unknowns, but for some reason, because it's true to your soul, you guys, I think, I wouldn't call it that you like crave the unknown, but you're not afraid to explore the unknown. Even if there was like a vast abyss in the cosmos or deep waters or other realms, just anything unknown and uncertain, you are ready and willing to explore these unknowns. I'm just getting this image of like a void, like some sort of black void in my head, and that could represent a lot of different things for you. But yes, you are explorers of realms. That really is an incredible message, and with just one card, all of that came through. So there's a lot of depth to you, to your mind, to your soul, And I don't know if you reveal that to a lot of people, probably not. Only people that you really trust. Can you tell us more about group number 4, our Wooden Heart group, and what are their unique gifts, talents, abilities, powers? It's funny how your messages, your cards began, because at first I felt like nothing was coming up and I'm like, am I in trouble here? Right? Like, am I going to say anything? But then you started to open up your energy, being such a hermit here, introvert here. It did come through. Unique talents, gifts, abilities, powers, please, for group 4. And by the way, what activates this ability, as you probably guessed by now, is being alone, okay? So your powers are strongest when you're in solitude. Okay, so if you're unable to have peace and quiet and your alone time, I suppose you can always carve it out somewhere, like in a public place, like I don't know, like a park or coffee shop, or like a small corner of your room, anything like that. But if you are able to dedicate a space to just yourself, that would be obviously ideal. Any time that you can have in solitude, please try this out. And I'm talking really alone, like without even anything, like no TV or, any kind of distractions. Really just be in your aloneness. And I suppose you could use like a journal or just meditate, but see what happens. Your abilities will really skyrocket when you're alone. Okay, so you do have the Temperance card here. A lot of the groups did get this because if you're spiritual, you probably are a healer or an empath. So for you guys, I do feel that here. I do feel that you naturally are healers. There's something here, they're talking about balance though for you here. I wonder... I get it. They're saying that your abilities are activated by your own internal balance. If you tend to be a person that is naturally imbalanced, maybe, if you feel like you're all or nothing, if you feel like you go to extremes, see if you can be in the middle and center yourself through whatever method, meditation, nature, stuff like that. Your abilities will truly be activated and like kind of come out of you. Like it's going to be so powerful. You're going to feel naturally protected in a orb of light. I don't know why that came through, but you're going to need to be balanced for this to happen. So that's not easy to do. This is a lifelong journey of that is achieving balance. So do what you can. Probably the simplest direct way to work towards balance is just simplifying it through the 7 chakras, and you can read on that and see if it resonates with you. But yes, balance is key. Can you tell us more about their unique gifts, talents, powers, how it's activated? All right, so we do have the 10 of Cups. So this one's a really beautiful energy here, very much loving, harmony, family, friendships. I think that here, from what I'm seeing also, there's 2 number 6s here, 6 of Cups and Wands. I think that the simple message here is that people love to be around you, or you love to be around others, where it's like a family unit, celebrations, which is so funny that I was talking about you being an introvert. But when you are around these energies, I feel like especially of children or animals or people who are pure of heart, you thrive. So that is something that activates your abilities in a specific way, or like specific abilities depending on what you want to do. Is for you to be around like-minded souls who you feel you can trust, who you feel are honest, but you take a lot of joy from this feeling of family. It doesn't have to be blood-related family, but like a feeling of family and of play and of sort of like this childlike connection and bond. I feel like there's a lot of good that can come from this. So although you may at times get drained by social activities and events, this is a specific kind of tight-knit feeling where you are replenished by the family bonds. That's a really interesting message. No one got that so far tonight, so that's really cool. Definitely unique there. Some of you, if you're shaking your head and you're like, that's totally not true, you may need to take a step back and look at the vibration of the people that you're thinking of, like that you have in mind. This has to be high vibrational people, okay? So again, like positive people, spiritual people, loving people, genuine souls. That's why I mentioned childlike energy or animals. Can you tell us more about their unique gifts, talents, and powers? For group number 4, please. What do we need to know? I feel like I'm getting a message just from the item, whatever you want to call it, the token here of the heart. I feel like there's a lot of complexities within your heart. I feel like you've been, okay, I don't know if this is true or not, but I feel like a lot of you may have been through a lot of negative situations, maybe traumatic situations of the heart, okay? Very specifically of the heart. And I feel like there's a lot going on within your heart chakra. So it's give and take, because I think that you love deeply when you do love, but I also feel like there could be a lot of, it's not restrictions and it's not blockages, but there are, how can I describe to you what I am seeing? It literally looks just like this. The vision that I saw was, instead of the wooden whatever these are, it looked like some sort of vines, you know? So like maybe thorns and vines kind of a thing. So I feel like it's this web of some sort. That's why I said complex. I feel that there's a lot going on there. This is probably protection of your heart, which protection is a good thing, but it becomes a negative thing when it blocks out good, okay? So you would benefit greatly from doing some heavy heart chakra healing work. And I think I said that more than once today, so, you know, you're not alone in that. It's just something I think all of us need to do. Can you tell us more about their unique talents, gifts, abilities, powers? So we do have the 9 of Swords coming in pretty obviously upside down. So I feel as though you have, throughout your life to this point, you have had the ability to reverse anxiety, distress, mental illness. Yes, that's what I'm seeing here. So in other words, you have healed from a lot of mental health struggles, or, you know, you have conquered a lot of things within the realm of mental health. So that that is the first I'm hearing that in this reading. So that's really incredible. So whether it was anxiety, fears, depression, phobias, like all kinds of things, you know, it could be anything. You have the ability to turn this around. And, you know, it's interesting that it landed on top of both the card of healing, the Temperance card, and the Curious card of the Hermit. So I think the way you did this was you kind of questioned everything. You reflected, you asked why. And you didn't just ask, you answered. You found the answers to every curiosity. And in doing so, you enlightened yourself. The way to activate this further is to work with your higher self or any higher level beings at all. So whether that's your high frequency spirit guides, angels, divine, whichever, work with them because they're going to continue to give you messages for this, okay? This message over here about family, that one's a bit more obvious. Just spend time with high frequency souls here on earth, you know. Okay. Anything else? What do we need to know about their unique gifts, please? Group 4. Okay. I think I said that I have a really terrible memory sometimes, but I think I did say this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. You got here the Queen of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups, which I talked about being nomadic. They did flip upside down in reverse. So, I mean, either way, this is part of your soul's imprint. So, the non-spiritual explanation for this is that you may just love to travel and explore, okay? But there is a bit of a conflict here internally at times, I feel, because you may just cast this off as that you're sort of labeling yourself as unstable, and maybe you just feel that you're naturally an imbalanced, unstable person. But that's really not the case. I mean, yes, it can appear that way and it can feel like that. But if you come into a little bit more of balance and grounding, you're going to see that this is just your natural soul, your natural soul's drive to sort of continue that mission of just exploration. You know, you are, I mean, I don't really have the best word for it, but yes, you are an explorer of minds and of energies and of, as I said before, of realms. They're not telling me anything new exactly, but they are just confirming that this is the case. But the way to activate this in a way that will benefit you the most is to just ground your energy. Okay, so maybe step on the grass if you can and absorb the grounding energy through your bare feet. That would be probably one of the best ways to do it. Or any earth element, okay? Or any other way that you ground yourself. Maybe like if you want to go hiking or go to a park. If you are limited, you know, to kind of being indoors and stuff, you can certainly do something indoors like sitting cross-legged on the floor. Lots of stuff with the ground itself I think is going to be beneficial to you, okay? All right, so let's just get a few more messages because you got a lot already. But I don't know if they... let's use a different deck. Hold on. They called me to this one, so I'm just going to use this one. What was this called? The Priestess of Light Oracle. For group 4, please. Can you tell us a final message about their unique gifts, talents, abilities, powers, anything? For group number 4, just one card, Spirit. Thank you. Okay. This is a bit of an unexpected one, but okay. Your card you got was number 30, Setting Boundaries. And on the bottom it says Threshold Protection Honor. So they're kind of giving you a bit of a warning here that you do need, starting today if possible, to begin to protect your energy. And I did see at the bottom of the deck the Three of Swords, which is very similar to your actual object that you picked, all right? So your heart and your energy has been through a lot, probably. I mean, obviously, you survived a lot because you're otherwise you wouldn't be watching this. You have survived a lot. So the fact that, you know, that says a lot about you and your resilience. Setting boundaries is going to change the game for you. It's going to change your life if you can do this in the way that is in your highest good for now. So an extreme example of that, well, not extreme, but like a solid example of this would be that, for example, if you're currently in a negative environment, setting a boundary would actually be removing yourself from the environment. If you cannot do that, setting a boundary would be like kind of putting your foot down, verbally expressing the need for boundaries with people in your life, or setting boundaries with yourself, okay? The reason that you need this is, you see I made the circle here. This is going to be your threshold of protection. This is going to be how you purify your energy. You're detoxing from the world or from whatever else. You're detaching from a lot of negativity. Many of you may benefit from cord cutting, and the reason that they told you this as your final message is because this is how you can ultimately activate your powers in the most significant way, okay, is to do this, is to protect your energy, to cut cords, to cleanse yourself, but envision yourself in an orb of light. I do often talk about the video I've done a while ago, how to protect your energy. It's linked actually in the description. So yes, you may want to consider this. This was the final card. I did notice on the bottom, sorry, been talking a lot, okay. On the bottom you have here, Divine Masculine. It says on the bottom as well, Electric Active Power. And it's funny because this is, I think, one of the only masculine cards in the deck, because this is a feminine. Oh, you actually got both at the bottom, Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine. That's pretty interesting. So that is talking about balance. They are confirming again that if you can balance your energy, you may want to consider looking up the Magician and the High Priestess in the tarot, because that will help to better explain masculine and feminine energies. But they are confirming that if you balance yourself, you are going to be a completely new person, and your abilities are going to be ridiculously powerful, okay? But the final message here is that you may need to take action towards something once you know within your intuition what that is. That's the whole premise of this. You have to first let things come to you and unfold, use your intuition, and then you take action and create that electricity moving forward, okay? So group number 4, this was sincerely an intriguing reading. Please let me know if this resonated. That's what I have for you for today. Please let me know if it did resonate, and if some of it you feel like is not aligned, try some of this out and then you can let me know what happened. I'd really be interested to know. Okay, so thank you guys so very much for watching. I wish you the best as always. If this was helpful to you, please consider subscribing, sharing, notification, all that stuff that I always forget to say. Okay, thank you once again, and I hope to see you next time, okay? Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, this is the reading for those of you that chose group number 5, which is the book Charm. I almost never do 5 groups because it's kind of a lot, but there should be some interesting messages here. Spirit, this reading is for group number 5, our book Charm group. And the messages, energies for them, especially what are their unique gifts. Please provide us with clear guided messages for group 5. Spirit, for group number 5, our book charm group, what can you tell us about their unique talents, gifts, or abilities, please? Group 5. Group 5, please. That was a little weird because I saw this card flip and it just flashed the yellow, and I thought to myself, oh, that's the strength card. So I pulled another one just in case it wasn't enough, and it was the strength card. I thought that was really kind of strange. It made me think of something like a doppelganger, or like the ability to duplicate things. That's super strange. I don't know what they're getting at, but I will let you know. That's very weird, but that's what we're looking for here. So your first card is the 3 of Wands, and then you have again here the Strength card. So with the 3 of Wands, this is nice because on the bottom of the deck you have the 8 of Wands, and both of those can have to do with travel or movement or expansion of some kind. And with the Strength card, I feel like the Strength card is speaking about your earnest drive internally within your heart and within your soul space to really gain as much as possible from this journey of life. So that might sound like a strange message to start with, and I do feel like it is a bit weird, like what they're trying to get at here. So I'm going to keep talking, and it'll come to me. I said in the intro that what activates part of my abilities is my throat chakra. So I'm going to have to just kind of figure out what they want to say here. But with the 3 of Wands, you are able to rise above so much conflict or adversity or whatever it is, challenges, and you are successful in this. I feel that you continue to rise up and up and up every step of the way. Okay, so this tells me that you've probably had a lot of rebirths and awakenings, transformations as well. Can you tell us for group number 5, what are their unique talents, abilities, gifts, please? Group 5, please. Yes, and you also got here the 8 of Cups, which does, again, speak of some type of travel. I don't know if you're going to end up sounding like group number 4, but they definitely got something having to do with exploration very heavily. Okay, so we have here the 7 of Wands and Cups. Okay, and then you also got the Queen of Pentacles. So I am getting some, I don't know if it's complicated messages, but I feel almost as though there's some type of a conflict here, and that's why I'm having some struggle extracting these messages. Are you guys maybe overthinkers or something like that? Because there seems to be some inner conflict here. All I'm trying to do with this shuffle is tell you with a sense of flow what your gifts are, and yet it seems to be blocked. There seems to be a resistance energy that's fighting against this. So let's work with that. Let's get in. You know what it could have been? I have to say it could have simply been that you don't resonate with this tarot deck, and for that reason alone, your messages might not be coming through. I see the deck that you want to use now, so I'm going to do that, okay? So bear with me. If this is your first time watching my channel, this is highly irregular. This never happens. Okay, so we're going to use this deck over here. I believe it's called the Garden of Lucid Daydreams. They're kind of strange looking, but don't worry. They're all, you know, they might look a little alarming, but it's an interesting deck. Okay, so Spirit, now what is the truth? Now the reason why this matters, a tarot deck is pretty much like your whole essence, right, in a reading. So if I felt it, but I didn't listen to it at first because I wasn't sure, but now I am, that this is not who you are. You guys in group number 5, and this is so classic, I swear. I'm an overthinker too, by the way. I saw the gear on your charm. And immediately I got a message, but I didn't say it. My message to you was that you are like the intricate gears of a clock, or like you are like the gears within some sort of a mechanism. And it's this okay, so there is this extremely unique place that you have in the world. And I feel now that why this wasn't coming through was because many of you may still be trying to figure out what that is. Yes, that is what I think. And you're still walking this path. You're still experimenting with a few different things. And you just probably really want to know, what is my place here in this world? Well, I can tell you, or at least I can kind of narrow it down, that your unique place in this world is what involves your place in the world is whatever is unique to you. So for example, the stuff we're going to look at today, or if you already know, your unique talents and gifts, that is part of your path and your purpose on earth. That itself, like, it's going to have to do with that, okay? So for example, if obviously like you chose the book charm, so if you have a distinct writing ability, something creative, if you have I feel like some of you are into sciences, and if you have something there, it could be even something specific, like, this is so random, but something like specifically that you researched, you have a unique contribution to this path, okay, to this realm. And the messages are barely coming through because I feel that either, I don't know if you're resisting or fighting or scared, I'm not sure exactly what's causing it, but if you were to relax and surrender and just enjoy the journey and enjoy the unknowns, your powers would flourish, okay? So even if you were to accept that you have a unique contribution to this earth and you don't know what that is, but you just feel that that's true, that is going to be enough for you to take one step forward, okay? So that's, whoa, boy, that really hit me. I don't know what just happened there. I hope that that makes sense. Spirit, for group number 5, please, what are their unique talents, gifts, powers, abilities? What is unique to them and about them? Group 5, please, our book charm group. The first deck here, like, I was really struggling, and I was thinking, like, you can't make me say messages even if I tried. Like, I tried a couple, but I don't think I said much. But that's how you guys are in your soul. You have such a unique blueprint. Like, I am detecting, group 5, that out of all of the groups I've read for, you may, and this is a compliment, you may be the most alien-esque, okay? You may be like, oh my God, this is gonna sound nuts, but you may be the least human. I feel that, oh my gosh, what is happening? You kind of resonate on a different level entirely, to the point where I can't even speak the language. Like, I think that it's foreign to me, energy-wise, and that doesn't usually happen. So you're really out there with your energy, and again, I feel like that's a huge compliment in a like, I feel that it is. Some people might take offense to that, but you're very much an outlier, because you're like over here, and here's planet Earth and all of the collected energies, but you're like at a distance, you know? You just resonate differently, and I'm getting an image, I have to tell you, I'm getting an image of another planet right now, okay? And this is hilarious to me, because I'm pretty sure that, I think it must have been group 2, where I said to the people in group 2, watch group 5. So now I see the connection. The image of the planet that I got was green and black, and the butterfly is green and black. So it had a ring around it of some sort. Okay, so if you were to look into, and this is the first time I'm mentioning this in this video, If you were to look into your Akashic records, you would find amazing information. I know very little, almost nothing about Akashic records, but the theory is that it's sort of like this energetic database of everything that has ever happened and everyone's histories, stuff like that. So try to research it. It's spelled Akashic, I believe, if I didn't get that wrong, Akashic records. So get into that, and you would find some amazing messages, like unbelievable messages. Can you tell us their unique talents, their unique contribution here, please? Group 5, thank you. Group 5, what do you want to tell us? Okay, so this is nice. You have number 14. This is not labeled in any way. Now, you can see here the freedom of this card. You need to be free. If you are currently in a situation where you feel stuck or restricted or oppressed, I would probably bet that you're absolutely miserable. And the reason for this is because your soul's imprint, like within your own true soul, you need to be free. You need to have, is the word like maybe autonomy or sovereignty. This is just what you need. There's no question about this. You cannot dispute this. You need to be free. I don't know what that means for you in a practical sense, but you need this freedom, okay? So the other answer to your unique contribution is over here, the first card, the seeds card, okay? So your unique contribution to this realm has to do with the seeds that you are planting into this world, which could mean you're planting the seeds of an idea, a creation, maybe even a legacy. Any of these seeds, everyone is going to have a different seed, okay? I mean, yes, there could be stuff in common, but everyone here is going to have a different seed that they wish to plant into the world. Some of you that even could be a little bit more literal, and you're working with environmental sciences or agriculture, or like maybe some of you are into like environmental rights or animal rights or something like that. But you're trying to make a difference, I think. And what is so unique about you, in you guys in group 5, is that you cannot just take a small step in this world. You have this internal drive to change the world, okay? So that's what I meant by unique contribution. I've worked with all kinds of different people in my tarot, and so many different seeds have come through. And I said research before because it reminded me of one particular client that I worked with where she was doing, I think, disease research. It was something like that, or virus research, to like come up with like cures, vaccines, healing, you know. So that would be an analytical scientific seed to this realm. Again, the creative people here, that could be your seed, where you are planting seeds of ideas, creation. If it's not writing, art, sort of those creative means, it could be creative means such as maybe even like inventions or programs, you know, all of these beautiful things. And what was the other one that I saw? With the seeds here, it also could be, again, your legacy. Maybe you want to, or have already begun some sort of like something with like traditions or family or values, you know, things that you're teaching the younger generations or teaching whoever. This is the seed for you that you want to cultivate. Oh my God, this is really something. I don't know what is happening, but I'm trying. Like, I'm doing my best to deliver these messages. Again, I feel that it's a different energetic language, if that's even possible. Apparently it is. Okay, so whatever is your dream, especially if it has to do with your freedom, your independence to do this, please do it, because you're going to impact the world in an incredible way, in ways that is going to change the world. I mean, some people that might be like, that could be of any scale, and it doesn't really matter how big or small the scale is because you're still going to make an impact in some way. Can you tell us what their unique talents, gifts, abilities, powers are? I have a feeling that, you know, because of what I've seen here, there's a chance that maybe other people don't often understand you or where you're coming from, you know? Maybe they get confused a bit with your ideas, your, you know, what you're trying to say, whatever the case is. And I feel like that's part of the talent that I'm seeing here. You know, it is always going to be a give and take. It's always going to have, you know, like a pro and a con. So, I think what activates your ability here, like obviously is just being true to yourself, but there is something here too. Try this. This one particular tip could activate your power to have all these ideas come to you. What I saw was the Three of Wands and an elevation. I saw you being elevated, literally. Go to the top of a hill, maybe if you're hiking, if you're fortunate enough to go to like a peaceful mountainside or something like that, anything elevated. So even if you were like looking out a window from a tall building or anything at all where you can get a higher perspective, try that out. See what happens. I think that something happens to you when you're, oh my God, this reminds me of, this is just making me laugh. I feel like something happens to you when you're literally closer to like a certain elevation on the planet Earth. Okay. So this does remind me of when I was away from my home state and I was up north, and I felt like I could hear and see and feel everything more clearly. I felt like it was just like a higher frequency to me, and I feel like for you guys, being up higher will be a huge benefit. This will be an activation for your abilities, okay? And yes, that's very random. Can you tell us about their gifts, talents, powers, group number 5? I knew you would be the most unique because look at the charm, but I didn't think it would be something that I would struggle to like, get the messages. It's that unique and rare. So for group number 5, can you tell us something specific, Spirit? They told me another message. One other thing that activates your unique powers, whatever that could be for you, especially your creativity and your ideas, is if you move slowly. Take your time, pace yourself. This means that you cannot rush. This means that you have to calm down any natural anxieties that you may have. Do breathing exercises, okay? So deep, slow breathing, relaxing of your physical body. This will help to activate your abilities, your whatever power, psychic powers you have, and you have a lot. And yes, they haven't been too specific, but it's so many different things here. But that is one way to slow down and to really pace yourself. Can we have a specific psychic ability now, besides what we already have here? For group number 5, a specific psychic ability. There it is. I had to take my own advice and take a breath, and it came out. So, whoa. We have your number 46. And it's looking like this person is blowing out some energy. There's something here having to do with air or maybe cold. Okay, so your unique psychic ability. Okay, now that's very, very unique. Is wow, I didn't even know this existed until just this moment. You know how people have clairaudience and they receive messages because they can hear it in their mind, or any of the clair abilities? They're receiving something. You are giving out energy and messages. I didn't know that this was possible. Okay, so you're literally kind of whispering energy into the air, and you're creating it. You're creating it. You're making it happen. Some might call this manifestation, but it's almost as if you're speaking something into existence. Now that I have heard of. been made fun of for that, where I said something and they're like, no, 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 don't say that. You're going to speak it into existence. And I don't know if it was the self-fulfilling prophecy or whatever, but it did happen. And I thought that was kind of funny. I was like, oops, I didn't mean to do that. But I think that you have the ability to speak energies and events or whatever into existence. Be careful, please, with this, because that can totally backfire. Be careful with what you speak. Be careful to, you know, just be mindful with this ability, because it's quite powerful. And the way that you activate that is obviously to just do it, but again, to just like make sure that whatever you're trying to create is aligned with your highest good. I don't think that they want to use these anymore because I feel like you guys want variety. So let's do this one here. This is the Wisdom of the Oracle. Can you please tell us their specific, unique, either psychic abilities or talents for group number 5? So I was getting something about the color red. You may have a special resonance with the color red. This connects to the root chakra, most likely. It could just be a power color for you, if that's even a thing. But let me show you. So we had the red here on the back of these cards. But I am now just noticing that 2 of these people are, well, this one's green, and there's also green here too. So maybe either red or green. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they're complementary colors anyway. So you may have some special ability that is amplified by wearing or having around you the colors red or green. That's really a unique message, because none of the other groups got anything like that. I didn't even know that that was possible. I know obviously that colors have, you know, like their special frequencies and stuff like that, but try it out, see what happens. It depends on what you want to achieve, but just try it out. Maybe you feel more powerful because of the color that resonates with your energy. Okay, so you have here number 5, orphaned. So this was as so we're looking here at your talents and your abilities and what activates it as well. Here I'm getting an activation message. In order for your abilities to be on point and in their highest potential, you have to connect with divine. You cannot feel left out in the cold and orphaned, as this card says. You have to connect to either a higher power or a, you know, larger scale energy, such as universal energy. You cannot do this on your own. Okay, so if you have to, it's funny because at the bottom of the deck you have observer, and there's looking through, I don't know if that's like a telescope or whatever you call this thing, looking into the sky, looking into the stars and the moon. So I don't know for you guys what you resonate with in terms of like higher power labels or whatever, that kind of a thing, but you have to connect with something outside of yourself in a sacred way, in a celestial way, in a spiritual way. If you try to do this just on your own, you're going to feel like very lonely and small and just completely disconnected. So keep that one in mind. To activate yourself, you have to connect, okay? So can we get any other final messages about their unique psychic abilities or talents, earthly talents, anything? An earthly talent that they said over here was that you are, they use the word tenacious, okay? So I do feel that you are a fighter, actually, that you do climb your mountains. So you do have that about you. You create opportunities. Finally, I see the connection here, okay? And you have just the plain old strength card. So you have this innate strength about you. And I feel like you're a type of energy to never, ever, ever give up, okay? So there's that. So you also drew here the card, All That Glitters. And even though this looks like a positive card, I do know that the actual meaning to this card has to do with like superficial things that may not be what they seem. Okay, so we have the 2 masks here. So this is actually a common one. I think a lot of the groups got this one, that you're able to see beneath the masks of people or situations. That's another ability that you have. And you know what? To you, though, the unique piece of it to you is that this is a complete no-brainer. Like, you look at this, you look at things that are not genuine, you look at things that don't fit, and you actually even find it ridiculous. You're just like looking at it and it's almost like cringeworthy. Oh my God, that phrase. It's almost cringeworthy to you guys. You're like, no. Like, you just, immediately, you know something isn't right. And in fact, you may even feel the need to tell the person or like speak about the situation and say, no, this is just, something's not right here. One other ability I'm seeing here, and a lot of people may not like this, but I think that you have the unique talent of telling the truths in their blunt, direct nature that they're meant to be. And I feel like a lot of people may take issue to this because there's no sugarcoating, I feel. Well, at least for many of you. You don't sugarcoat, you just say things bluntly for exactly what they are. Okay, so that did come through. Can we have a final card, please, for group number 5 and their unique talents and gifts? But obviously, like, you know, even if it does come with problems, that is a talent, because I think that many times that's not what people choose to do. And I don't even do that either, because if I was going to be abrasively honest with people, like sometimes I want to say something a certain way, and I know that I cannot for many reasons. And some people say to me, hey, stop sugarcoating things, just tell me, you know, but for you guys, like, I think that part of your strength here is that you just really don't care about the way that it's going to come off. Like, what's more important to you is that you're not diluting the messages of truth with the sugarcoating. So that does take bravery, I will say. All right. Any final messages, please, for group number 5? Thank you. Thank you. Alrighty, your final card is Clean It Up, number 21. So this is a funny, practical final message here. They're asking you to clean up the clutter or the impurity of your life. You know, like if you live in a cluttered environment, your powers will be activated if you have a cleansed environment, something a bit orderly if possible. You may want to cleanse your aura as well. You may want to do a salt bath, use sage, stuff like that. Do a wind bath if you can. Your powers will be activated the more like impurities that you strip away. Now, the final thing I do want to mention, the final thing, remember I said before a bunch of stuff about planets and just all kinds of things that I didn't think I would ever say. Look at this. You got the card Between Worlds. If that's not confirmation, I don't know what is. You are between worlds. I don't know how that works. If you know how to do that, please let me know in the comments. I do feel sometimes that I kind of, you know, in between worlds sometimes when I do psychic work. I feel like I'm dimension hopping or something, unless I'm just imagining things. But you have the ability to be in different realms or different worlds, and I'm not sure what can activate it for you because I feel like you do this naturally. I feel like you just do this. And a huge benefit of this is that you can channel information, you can channel answers, guidance, but you can also channel creativity too. If you happen to be creative, this is an enormous leg up, because you're channeling truths from literally different dimensions, and you're what's the word I'm looking for? It's almost like you're transmitting it, or you're conveying this in a way that hits people and they're like, holy cow, that really hit me in the soul. So, but if not creativity, this is truths, information, and answers that people seek for their whole lives. Oh, this is weird. You have no place like home beneath that, okay? So I was talking about you're not being from this planet. No place like home. So it's there somewhere. Just look up. Oh my God, what a weird message at the end. Look up, they said, like that observer card from earlier. Group 5, I'm going to leave it there because this reading completely took me off guard. What a fascinating reading and energy. So if any of this resonated, please do let me know in the comments. And And if it didn't resonate at all, maybe it's not the right group for you, but this was truly a one-of-a-kind reading. So yes, that's what I have for you. If you enjoyed this, feel free to subscribe and share and all that stuff. What do you call it? This is a general reading. Personal reading info is always in the description. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I wish you the very best, and I do hope to see you next time, okay? Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.